Buenos dias, Gunners Collective Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some snack habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get straight to this intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support and I'm very humbled by it, right? Humility, being humble. I could honestly say I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled and I'm back, right? And unfortunately, being back is not what everybody wants. Being back is something a little bit different. There's a lot of people out there that are upset that the gun is back, right? But I want to answer a couple questions and a couple concerns of mine because people are all over the place with this Gunner versus Chill boxing match that we have in the works. Yes, absolutely, man. We talked on the phone. We agreed that we can disagree. We also agreed to be cordial in what we're going to do and to work behind the scenes to bring you guys the best fight possible, right? Workout, having our mind straight, mind in it. You know, I could honestly say that I believe Chill is 100% ready to go, and I know I'm getting there, man. That's a fact. I'm 100% ready to go, but I'm getting there, you know, working out. You got to remember, you're working with a man that's older, has diabetes and all kinds of other shit. No excuses, but it's going to take me a little bit of time to get on that level, but I will get there. I promise that, right? Now, there's been a lot of rumors going around, a lot of questions ever since Chill posed this, question. Would I take the fight? Absolutely, I will take it with no hesitation, no doubt. You know, other people have asked me in the past, hey, will you fight this guy or will you fight me or will you fight that? And I always know it was just a lot of this, a lot of talk, a lot of woofing, a lot of people wanting to be disrespectful, a lot of people just wanting to challenge my crown that I wear upon my head, right? For whatever reason. But I can tell you this, these are facts. I honestly believe Chill when he says, you know, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to see all right, cuz, right? And I respect it. I respect that he called me like a man. I respect that he called me out like a man. I respect that, you know, he's being a man. But at the same time, let me explain something to you guys. There's a lot of rumors going around saying, and I've got a lot of comments the last couple of days. Gunner, why are you fighting Chill? Why isn't Dubs fighting Chill? Why are you taking on Dubs battles? Why are you stepping up and not Dubs? First and foremost, I don't fight anybody's battles. You know, I'll back the play of my homie to the fullest. You know, when people got issues with Dubs, I feel like they got issues with me. You know, they talk about me when they're talking about Dubs and they have something to say bad about them. You know, they start saying Skittles this and Runner that and start mentioning me and disrespecting me. And then I clap back and now I'm the motherfucking villain, right? I'm the bad guy. They play the victim role when I clap back. So if you want to say two peas of a pod or birds of a feather flock together and all that other bullshit with up, I just woke up, I got lagañas in my eyes. It's early. Let me get my shit together. All right, I'm back. You know, when you got people saying all that bullshit, and then when I say, and when I back my play, or I back the homie's play, it's like, oh man, you can't let the homie fight his own battles, or you always have something to say. I always have something to say. I'm always going to have something to say because you did it first. So let me do it second. Hey, let me be the follower. Let me run over there. Let the runner run over there and follow. Right? Am I fighting Dubs battles? Absolutely not. His beef with Chill or whatever you want to call it is his and his only. Okay? Have I backed him up in the past as far as wordplay and saying things and making content? Absolutely, and I'd do it again against anybody, right? And I didn't single Chill out, and I didn't try to make him an example, but he knows, just like he told me, and just like I'm going to say, it's all content, right? It's all content, definitely. But at the end of the day, if I feel disrespected or he feels disrespected, then we're grown men. We got something to say. This has zero to do with Dubs and everything to do with me and Chill, okay? Whatever beef Dubs has with Chill and Chill has with Dubs, that's their own personal business. Do I get involved? Yes, Dubs is my homeboy. And that's the reason why we're here in the first place. It has nothing to do with me disrespecting Chill or Chill feeling some type of personal way or me backing up Dubs or having a fight for him. Are you kidding me? We're talking about a man who did 20-something years in prison. He's a YA baby. He'll handle his business. Hey, I'm the last one on earth that will ever say, or not even going to say, period, that Dubs will not take a fade. Of course he will. But he's past the age of running around a ring or taking fades for no one's business. It's no... Look, man, that man done did shit in prison motherfuckers only watch TV about. Okay, so I don't expect him to do anything out of character. I expect him to be the man he is, to be a solid individual, to be an individual that you could actually converse with if you took the time to really realize what type of man he is, right? You know, when people talk about fighting in the ring, that's more my style. That's more what I do. It's not to say I'm downer or I'm harder, nothing like that. It's just what I do. Okay, I've done it before, and I guess I'll do it again. You know, there's a reason why Chill called me out and not Dubs. See, their beef is a little bit more personal. It's gone beyond the limits of coming back. I don't think them two guys could ever be friends again. I think they could be cordial with each other. I honestly believe that they could agree to disagree and not speak on each other's names or make content about each other. But it seems like the only time people watch is when there's drama. So why not, right? You guys watch Chill's videos when he makes videos about me or Dubs all the time, and I ain't mad at him. Hey, if you keep listening to the song, he's going to keep playing it over and over again, right? Same thing on my side. I don't hate on that. That's what it is. But, you know, the disrespect has gone past the point of no return when it comes to Dubs and Chill. And so I could understand why there can't be no boxing match between them two. I could understand where it's actually street. It's actually more real. You see, when you talk about a man's integrity, his pride, you know, you question a man's livelihood, you question a man's integrity, and you question a man's realness, you know, that could get to your soul, right? When you question where a man's been in his life, you know, things that he's done, when you're regurgitating or saying, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, Chill, but when you're regurgitating or saying things that haters have said in the past, it's kind of becomes redundant. It kind of becomes like over and over again. People are just spinning or spitting a fucking narrative. Now, Dubs gets his haters. He gets a lot of them, just like I do myself. I've been getting them a lot for a long time. And I've done videos in the past where I blamed myself for what Dubs is going through. I take full responsibility for a lot of the hatred that I used to get that he now gets, right? But at the end of the day, every man's a man. Just like I'm doing some man shit right here because I feel it's necessary. I feel there's a bag involved. I feel that it's something that me and Chill can do to kill the noise, right? And to win while doing it. But also there's a whole few other reasons, man, that I'm going to keep in the cuts why I feel that this is something that has to be done, right? No one else is doing it. Everyone else always talks about it. So again, man, the gun's going to step up to the plate like I always do, right? Now, as far as what Dubs and Chill have going on, you know, it's got past the point of no return. There's been family mentioned, family involved, you know, like I said, questioning a man's, you know, style, questioning a man's, you know, basically questioning a man if a man was a rat, if a man was solid, you know, questioning a man's integrity at the highest level. And it's so beyond the bullshit that these guys would ever come to that it had to go there, right? That it had to be, you know, reading of paperwork that didn't make sense or regurgitating what haters have said or trolls have said, you know. And it's just it's sad, man, to see two dudes who have actually solid, who did time, who did an extensive amount of time, right, have to argue or bicker or fight or battle on the internet, right? But it happens all the time. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I haven't done it because I've indulged myself, right? Let's just be real. I'm tired of being fake. I want to be real with you guys. You know, it sucks. But I've talked with Dubs. And again, man, you know, where he's at with it, he's willing to have a conversation with Chill, you know, and I get it. I get it. But as far as them fighting or getting in the ring, it's past all that. You know, when you get in a boxing ring with someone, it's because you have some respect for them. You feel that you could squash your beef or handle your business or whatever you got to do in a ring I don't think, according to what Dubs has told me, and Chill, I don't think that their beef would be settled in a ring. I think it's a little bit more realer than that. I think they're better off having a great conversation, just them two, without even my ears present, just them. You know, that way no one could run back and say, hey, this was said or that was said or no, it wasn't. And just two grown men having a talk and figuring out their differences and figuring out where they went wrong, right? I'm not going to say they were ever friends. I'm not going to say none of us were ever friends besides myself and Dubs, right? But everybody else, it could be easily broken down if you guys just chop it up, right? But all these people running around, hey, Gunner, Dubs should be fighting, not you, this, and that. No, hold up. Whatever I have going on with Chill is separate. Now, I know it stemmed from me involving myself in their beef. It definitely did. So that's my bad. And when it's my bad, I have to make it my good, right? But I will say this, and this is facts, and I'm going to put this out there. You know, I'm a firm believer in I don't fight other people's battles, but if you're my homeboy and I rock with you, right, then you don't fuck with my opposition and I don't fuck with yours. Meaning, I'm not going to sit there with someone that you have real personal beef with and converse and say it's all good and that I respect them and I got love for them and it's all hood and man, he didn't disrespect me, so it's all good. Nah, fuck that. You disrespect my homeboy, you disrespect me. It's the same shit, right? And I believe that every other man should feel like that. You know, those are some sucker ass, sneaky, slimy snake characters that'll sit there and dine with your enemy. They'll sit there and dine with your enemy, and then it makes you wonder what the conversation is about. You're usually the topic of conversation. If they're susceptible to even opening their ears and listening to the bullshit coming out of your opposition's mouth, or to even be around them on a personal level, knowing that you're a friend of theirs and they ain't really your friend. Nah, they're worse than the person that's talking shit about you because they're listening to it. That's a fact, right? So I'm not going to sit here and have these civil conversations with Chill on the phone and sit here and say I respect them and sit here and say all this, right? Without him knowing that I think as a real one, you know, he should stop disrespecting Dubs and Dubs should stop disrespecting them or him, you know, in any videos or anything like that. And let it go to at least we fucking have our boxing match. That way we can be cordial and work together to make something happen. Because that's what all the people want to see. Hey, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I can give a fuck what everybody wants to see. This is something that we're just going to do, that we're going to do, right? But I'm not doing it to make haters happy. I'm not doing it because I feel I need to or have to, because I'm a grown man. I'm secure with who I am, right? I could take the fight or I could walk away from it. I pay no never mind. It doesn't matter. You watch my content to watch my content or you don't. People that respect me as a man, they're going to respect me if I fight one way or the other, right? But there's a lot more that goes into it with me. I have to make sure everything lines up and everything's right. You know, I'm willing to take the fight. I'm going to take the fight, but I got to make sure everything's good on my side before I just jump into a ring with the man that I don't even know, right? Over some bullshit that could have been talked about on the phone, to be honest with you. But that's past. Now we're at the moment, the point of no return within our fucking little beef, right? And we're going to handle our business, man. And hopefully we can get a bigger venue. Hopefully we can make something big out of it, man. So that way it just doesn't go unnoticed and it's just not a backyard brawl. You know, we want to try to win off this. And if the people want to see it, then you're going to see it. Now, as far as what I'm trying to say to Chill is, you know, let's refrain, man, from disrespecting each other, and let's refrain from disrespecting each other's friends. Because, you know, I'm not in the business of, like I said, chopping it up with people, talking to them, being cool and cordial when they don't like my homeboy or they're disrespecting my homeboy. You have your own feelings. You have your own reasoning for doing what you do. But I believe the tit for tat shit is over. I believe you guys have both made videos lightweight disrespecting each other or questioning each other's integrity. I think the time has come now as a man to focus on right here, on me, right? And for all the people that are running around talking about, hey, you know, you're fighting Dubs battle. No, I ain't fighting Dubs battles. Dubs deals with his battles the way he deals with them. I deal with mine the way I deal with it. That's my friend, though. If someone talks shit, of course I'm going to talk shit. You know, if they talk shit about me, of course he backs my play. That's what friends do, man, right or wrong, and we'll figure it out later, right? You know, you want some, you get some. That's the type of situation that we're in. Chill didn't call Dubs out. And if he did, I didn't catch it. I caught where he called me. I always get called. I'm the one all the time, right? It's because I'm loud, obnoxious. I'm an asshole, right? I already know, man. I rub people the wrong way. But at the end of the day, I ain't no punk. I'm going to deal with my shit, right? Now, as far as Dubs, he ain't no punk either. But he's the type of guy that's a super Serio homie right there, right? When he feels he's disrespected to a certain level, it's like, hey, man, I don't even want to talk anymore. It's just when we see each other on the streets, if we ever see each other, let it be what it is. Let it lie right there, right? I get it. See, it's never really gotten that personal with me and Chill as far as family, disrespect, but you have disrespected my friend's family, and he has disrespected you. I don't know if Dub's not the type to really disrespect families, and so I don't know if he did that, right? But there was some shit going back and forth. All the paperwork, prison shit, I could care less about any of that. Shit's all fake. It's all fraudulent. It's all bullshit, right? Look, man, when I said that Chill was on the yard he was on, it was meant to hurt his feelings. It wasn't meant to escalate to this point, but it was meant to hurt his feelings because I felt disrespected. And so I was like, man, he was on a soft yard anyways, right? And I've gotten plenty of people told me that. Look, prison's prison, man. You got to, I'll respect the motherfucker that did time. I don't care what yard he was on. S&Y, PC, GP, none of that shit matters. You locked up, you're locked up, right? You know, all these wannabe gangsters and these little hardcore motherfuckers think that, oh, man, I paroled off a GP. I'm this, I'm that. Okay, well, whatever. Motherfucker, does your Slurpee taste different? Nope. Coca-Cola, right? Exactly, right? It's all the same shit. So as far as the people running around, why am I fighting Chill and not Dubs? It has to do with something totally different. You know, I talked to Chill. I asked him, why, bro? Fuck you call me up for, Anthony? Right? Put your shirt on, cuz. What would you call me up for? And he told me, man, you involved yourself in my business, man. And I feel that, you know, we can do something. It's content. Let's do something. Done. That's it. All I needed was an explanation. He didn't have to give me one, but he did. And I respect it. Now, as far as the whole Dub situation, that's something totally separate from what I got going on. But that is my friend. And again, so to kind of integrate that, I'm not going to fight Chill if he continues to disrespect my boy Dubs and all that, because it becomes some personal. You know, I'm not the type of man to sit here and say, man, we're cool. Me and you could get along, but you're going to fucking make 100 videos about my homeboy, or he's going to make 100 videos about you. You know, nah. Let's be men here. Let's be men who have done time, ex-convicts. Let's be men who have changed our lives for the better. Let's be men that are now with our family and our friends and our close loved ones. Let's be men and handle our business like men and let all the other shit go. Now, I did tell Chill, man, hey, after we get off, man, where we're mad at, and we handle our boxing match, whatever the case may be, that's it, bro. We're done, right? We don't have to talk about each other anymore. Look, I understand that Chill making videos about me and me making videos about him, or Dubs and vice versa and all that sells. It's box office. It makes money, right? But I believe once two men get in the ring, they share that ring, man. They handle their business like men, or even a street fight, however the case may be, whatever it turns out to be, right? And after that, man, let it go. It's a clean slate now, right? So we'll see. But as far as all these motherfuckers running around talking about Dubs ain't down and Dubs ain't willing to take the fight, Dubs is way more than down and willing to take a fight, right? Just not this one. It got too personal. So I'm going to handle this business, you know, and I'm going to do it for the sake of both of us. I'm not doing it because Dubs won't do it. I'm doing it because that's what I do. Okay, there's no excuse or nothing, man. I got called out. I got to step up. That's it. This is a real call out, not one of those fake ones. Well, I'll fight you, SC. Yeah, but they don't have a picture and they don't have the real voice and all that bullshit, man. I'll give you 10,000 if you fight me, man. I'll take your 10,000 and slap you. Stop, right? This is someone who I feel Chill, you know, can be respectful enough and cordial enough that we can get business done, man. And I think we're on the same level, and I respect that. I just don't respect the going back and forth with my friend, because I believe, man, even though I'm telling people, man, that's their business. Still, I don't fuck with people that feel some type of way about my people, right? Not to converse or nothing like that. We can fight though. That's for sure. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that I answered your questions, man. No, I'm not fighting Chill for Dubs. No, he didn't ask me to. No, nothing. He didn't even know I was fucking going to do it. I just did it because that's what I do, man. You know, he ain't no fucking punk, man. 20-something years in prison, running around in the circles that he ran around, and you guys honestly think he forgot all that shit? Man, why do people hate a man changing his life and doing well? Why do people want him locked up away from his family with nothing to eat? It's fucking cold, man, this world. Think I want to go back to prison? Nah, fuck that. Well, why do you talk about prison, Gunner? Because I was there, motherfucker, and I can. Anyways, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. This video right here is sponsored by Barrio Liquors in Turlock, California. If you're in the Turlock area, pull up to the Barrio and get you something cold to drink. Also by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Tucson, Arizona. If you're in the Tucson area and you need a quote and an estimate on some yard service, make sure that you call Sticks and Stones. He got you covered like a state blanket. Itchy, what did I say? Better warm. This is the gun. Bang, bang. And for those of you haters that are going to run to the internet, he's bowing down, he's scared. I ain't scared of nothing. Shit, I'm going to handle my business, man. Believe that.